Mob Nasty, Mob Nasty. What's cracking? What's cracking? How you doing? You're the first one in here. Were you the first one in here or the first one to comment? Because there's 4 people in here. Some of you guys are shy tonight. What's up, Barry? How you doing? Barry One McKnocker. Henny. What up? What up? What up? How's everybody doing? Cheers. Cheers. I just got water tonight, big dog. 509 old school. Shwoo. First like and first comment. That's right. Sebastian. Takis. Hey, whopping. Whoa, what's up, System Sebastian? I look forward to your lives. USA got beat. They got beat down. They got beat down. But hey, they put up a good fight up until tonight, right? Oh, fuck. He said, hoop that shit. What's up, Dubs? Checking in. How you doing, Louis? Jekyll's wifey, the first channel member in here tonight, right? Let me make sure. Yup, first channel member in here. Thank you, thank you. How you doing? Mob Nasty from the Mystery Night. Whoa. Yeah, I figured I'd jump on real quick. I don't plan on playing music unless you guys want me to. Bam, look at Kamai. Partying member for 41 months. Make sure I highlight that. Cali Babe, it always is, right? It always is. No matter what, it always is. Original 178. What's good, Dub? Send mines from Northern Cali. How you doing? Shout out to Northern California. Trusty, what's cracking? 519 old school. Right here chilling. Homie, how you doing? Does Dubs play any instruments? I don't. I remember when I was a kid, and I didn't tell my parents, right? I was a little ass kid in elementary school, and I signed up for band, right? And they asked me what instrument I wanted, and I said I wanted the saxophone, right? So at the time, that's when we lived on the east side. I lived across the street from Frank. Well, so across the street from Franklin School was one house, and then our house, right? And so I come home, bam, I'm all happy, and my parents have to sign for the fucking saxophone, right? So I come home walking, I'm carrying the saxophone in the black fucking case. Man, I try to walk in the house. My mom looked at me. She goes, "Man, sit the fuck on the porch." She goes, "Sit on the porch until your dad gets here and let him figure this out." I was like, "All right." Ortega Parque, that was a few blocks from where I live. And so I'm sitting there, right, and I'm just waiting. And my dad comes home and he sees the black case, right, and he's like, "Hey, mijo, what's that?" And I said, "Hey, Dad, I wanna play an instrument." And he goes, "Well, what instrument is that?" And I go, "It's a saxophone." And he goes, "Damn," he goes, "that's a trip." He goes, "I never told you, but I always wanted to play the saxophone, right?" So I was like, "All right, cool." What you know about I tried practice, but I was blowing. He goes, take that motherfucker back to school and don't ever bring a fucking instrument in this house. There went my career in music. He was all happy that I wanted to play the saxophone because he did when he was a kid. Man, he heard me. Mm-mm, nope. He said, "Don't you ever bring a fucking instrument anywhere in this house." Could have been a fucking jazz musician or something, you know? He killed the dream right there. I can sing a little bit. I used to be able to sing better. He said, damn, Dubs was on his Bill Clinton. Sheesh. Fuck that guy. What's going on, Dubs? Did you ever meet any of your homies that were musicians or got down with some corrido singing? Um, I don't remember any of my homeboys doing either. Dubs was in the choir. No, 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 no. Yeah, what up? What up? What up? What up? Cali Babe said, "Ah, Dubs." Right here, Kiawi. What's up, big dog? West cracking. Do I know Conejo? Who's Conejo? What, from my neighborhood? What's up, Cheeks? How you doing? Uh-oh, we got the husband and the wife in here now. What's up, Miguel? How you doing? Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I said thank you. Thank you. What the fuck? Thank you. I appreciate the support, big dog. Kamai says, when I was in school, if you didn't join the band or the orchestra, they put you in choir. What the fuck? Yeah, not over there. Barry says, I got kicked out of orchestra for playing Chili Pepper songs on the upright bass over whatever this. You were running your own program, huh? That's right. At least you knew how to play the songs. Big Zane, Zaynation. What up, big dog? Thank you. Are you sure it's water or vodka? No, that's why it's not even cracked yet. Matter of fact. You could listen to The Devil Inside by Cornejo. I'll donate to you on Friday when I get paid. Okay, gracias, homie. I appreciate that. Dubs, tell the truth. Did you host non-affiliate fight clubs in school? No, actually, I've talked about it before. I used to get beat a lot. My parents were both caught up in their addictions. And so it was a very, very violent home. So I tried to be on the streets as much as possible. Just walking in the house was enough to get your ass whooped. So I used to fight a lot in school. I was a frustrated kid, so I used to fight a lot in school. I was always getting suspended for fighting. Hey, no more making my eyeballs sweat so damn early in the morning. Is it true the higher the socks, the downer the fool? Only in the cartoons, big dog. Only in the cartoons, because there's some down ass vatos that won't even wear socks. How about that? Dubs make a video on tunas. I did. I did that one where Damian Porter talked about that. That was the first time I ever heard that term. Turned up non-affiliates. What's up, Hugh? How you doing? Alfred, I told Gunner we got to get back to doing this at a regular time. Usually we never win on Mondays. But we got to start doing that. Same thing over there on TikTok. West, what up? What up? What up? What's up, Ozzy Knuckleheads? How you doing? What time is it over there? This ain't gonna be a long one, guys. I'm only gonna do about 30 minutes. Like I said, we normally didn't do Mondays, but we got to start getting back to regular program, figuring out a regular time. Remember, it used to be 7 o'clock, and then we started doing TikTok. So it was 6:30 to 7:30 over there, and then 7:30 to 8:30 over here. Do I watch UFC? I watch it sometimes. I really don't. I have 3 TVs in the house, and I don't know why. I don't turn them on. Barry said, I spent all my teenage years. Hey, what's up, Joe? Barry said, I did all my teenage years in juvenile prisons. I did 1 year in county as an adult and turned my shit around. Congratulations, homie. You were able to live. Yo, Dubs, because them weirdos over there claiming victory that they killed Gunner's energy and they can tell he forcibly. Well, what's up, Javi? What's up, Mike? Gunner's health really hasn't been good lately. But that's not, he talked about it today on TikTok, so I'll talk about it. He hasn't been feeling well for a while. Not only that, every week, I mean, the homie, he's posted videos. He bought a boat, and every weekend he's fishing. He's enjoying life, and he really got hooked on fishing. So, them guys, they'll say whatever they're gonna say. But in the meantime, the homie's living life and trying to get his health in order. So, Cali Babe, Dubs, did you go to Santa Barbara High School? No, no, no. That's the East Side's high school. I never made it to high school in Santa Barbara. The guys from the West Side went to San Marcos. But I was sent out in 1988. I was sent to a group home out there in Riverside County. And so I went to high school a little bit out there at Ramona High School in Riverside. Shout out to the Vatos from Casablanca. That was their high school. But I went to YA when I was 15. So I never got to go to high school in Santa Barbara. But if I did, I would have went to San Marcos. Absolutely, Javi. Gunner's living. That's another thing. It's summertime and the kids are home and he's gonna spend time with them. Absolutely. Gunner's been doing a lot of things, man. And it's funny that, like, how can somebody get run off of social media? Like, unless the platform runs them off, but a troll can't run you off. Doesn't make sense. That's when you know somebody's ego is just through the roof. Hey, Sanic. What is it? Sanic Matic. Let me write that down. I'm going to start writing it down again. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Don't forget about Conejo. No, I like a few of his songs. Hey, Dubs. Now, as someone who is a regular person, do you root for any high schools in your city? No, I don't. Jekyll's wifey says, I knew it like a week ago. We were watching a video and I told Jekyll, hey, he's not feeling well. You can see it in his eyes. F what they say. They sure know how to get my mouth going. What's up, Lalo? Shout out to Jalos Titlan. Hey, thank you, Sanic. Matter of fact, you know what? And I also went to El Puente. I don't know if you remember where that was, Cali Babe. Right there next to the Habit in Goleta, where they used to have the trailers at the VA fucking. This is the VA thing, right across from Wendy's in Goleta. I went to school there too, a continuation school. Dubs gang, that's right, Mob. Hey, leave that alone. She's trying to take the whole light down right now. Mob Nasty says, please hit the like button. Oh, I didn't see if you answered me. Ozzy, what time is it over there? You're in tomorrow already, right? You and Zane you guys are already in tomorrow. One 1:49 p.m. Tuesday. Wow, that was in the future. We're talking to somebody from the future, guys. Time traveler right there. Yeah, Cali Babe. I went to El Puente for a little while. And then a big old thing happened. We got into it with the guys from Goleta right there at El Puente. Yeah, it was funny that when you were clowning on your troll about how he was in the pen, his only response was to try and talk about my family. He was butthurt. I mean, that's how they do it, and that's what's weird about the people that support that fucking lame. He was a complete pussy in prison. When look, I say it all the time about Wes Watson. See, unlike these dudes, I don't call Wes a rat. I don't call him a PC, all this stuff. These dudes will say anything to say anything, right? But I know people that were around Wes Watson, and when Wes Watson was in jail, when you're in jail, you get around men, Holmes, and it's like when I told the story about when my mom's brother, he told me, you wanna be a tough guy, huh? Well, now you're going where the tough guys are. We're gonna find out how tough you really are. This troll that I got that records all my lives and all that, he's a punk. He was when he's around certain types of dudes, he can be tough, but behind them walls, he didn't want to have nothing to do whatsoever. I have his paperwork. I've showed it to a few people. He never did nothing, never wanted to do nothing, was scared to death when he went to high desert, wrote the DRB, was writing anybody in the world he could write to leave him in the hole because he was afraid to be around men. That's the truth. And he could talk about my family all he wants, but it's his own words. In his own words, he said it. Mexico lost, USA lost. Now it's up to Max Holiday. He's the only hope for the Americas right now. That's funny. No, I never see the haters either. I don't. I'm telling you, if every now and then it pops up on my feed, anything by anybody and my name's in the topic, I don't care what it is. I put the 3 dots, not interested. It never pops up. I don't care what they have to say because they don't know me. None of them. You know, it it is what it is, man. They can live in that negative energy and suck it up. Norway and Spain got a shot. That's right. What's up, Leanne? Shout out to the 88 we got in the building. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys show up. Because I know some of you guys, it's like, hey man, I never get the notifications. And I was talking to Gunner about that today. I said, on both platforms, because we're not being consistent, people aren't getting our notifications. And that's not on the platforms, that's on us. The only USA dominant team is USA basketball. USA basketball was like assembling the Avengers. True story. Canada got a shot. They're in the World Cup. Yeah, George. If a team scores 4 goals in soccer, that's very, very hard to come back from. USA soccer has definitely improved. Well, what it was like in the 80s, it's vastly improved. Zane says it must be an American team to win the cup, North, South, or Central. If not, they better stay out of the United Countries of. Oh, see, Canada lost to Morocco. George thinks England will win it all. Oh, Colombia and Argentina, they're still in it. They're in the Americas. What's up, mamas? This little dog is crazy. She's already going to be 20 pounds. You're getting big, girl. What belief about yourself did you had to let go of to become the person you are today? Oof. What belief did I have to let go of? I'd have to really think about that. Uh did you know homie from Florida is 38 years straight? No, somebody asked me about that. I don't think I know him. I saw his face, but I didn't recognize the face. Um Shit, I'm gonna have to think about that. That was a good question. She's trying to get in the camera from Flores. Yeah, no, I don't think I did. Hey, Mars Queen Marlene, how you doing? I'm doing good. How you doing? I'm blessed. I'm always blessed. No matter what's going on, I know I'm blessed. France is very tough. Is Germany still in it? They're usually pretty tough. Have I met the homie Snuffy? Just in general, I don't know if I've ever met anybody with that name, Snuffy. I may have, but I don't remember. Do you think redemption has to be earned or can it also be accepted? I think it's both. When I used to Aloha, how you doing, Jax? It's like when I used to when I got into my self-help and then I used to mentor other people in their self-help. One of the hardest things to do is to forgive yourself. Like it's easier to forgive others than to forgive yourself. And I used to tell people, until you forgive yourself, nobody else can. Because you're still going to be doing certain things, like subconsciously, like kind of like self-sabotage. So you can't expect anyone to forgive you until you can forgive yourself. And that's always the hardest thing. England was lucky, and I doubt they will reach. Norway and Spain will be one of the finalists. Several Mexican players will most likely leave the Mexican league and make huge money in the European leagues. Well, shit, good for them. Congratulations. That's big money in that sport. So I think baseball and soccer pay the best, right? And it's crazy because the NFL, there's so much wear and tear on the body. They don't pay as much as those other big sports because you're not going to last as long. Suffering can definitely transform a person, um, in a good way or a bad way. Parmero, what's up? Orale, is this a new change? Haven't seen it around in a while. Just kidding, the sand mines, bro. What's cracking? Oh yeah, golf too. Golf, yeah. AM 881 Your channel is on point, my boy. It's a good thing you're safe and healthy. Most of all, free. Saludos. Hey, thank you. Likewise. Facts. Facts. NFL contracts are crazy too. Those players get screwed if they get injured. That's why now they try to get more guaranteed money up front. In basketball and baseball, you can guarantee the money because the injuries are less likely to happen. The NFL, fuck, your career could be over the first game you play. 300,000 a week in Premier League for top players. Wow. Yeah, Aaron Hernandez, he had a lot of demons though. Wow. George, let me write you down, big dog. Thank you. George P. Um, Liverpool just offered Mora, the 17-year-old, 20 million euros. Wow. Congratulations to him. Armero says, I have a primo by marriage who played on the Raiders, a prominent player. Also, you'd never believe it. I played, I mean, I don't know how old you guys are, but I don't know if you remember Napoleon Kaufman played for the Raiders. He's from Santa Barbara County. He's from the city of Lompoc. He was actually from the Barrio West Side Little Locos. I played football against him when I was a kid. Pop Warner. Farmero sends super chat $100. Shit, that would be nice. Remember when it used to be like that? The economy is rough, and it's weird because it's not like, I don't want to get too political. Never mind. Mob Nasty, what up? What up? Has your understanding of God, faith, or purpose changed because of what you've lived through? So even at my worst, Even when I was in, I almost got down with one of my really good camaradas, Chico from Lomita Bakers, over something at church. Even when I was an idiot, I never ever played with God or religion. I always respected it. Um, what I've been through. I mean, look, I told the story. I used to always want to read the Bible. I used to always tell myself, I'm going to read the Bible from front to back, every single page, every chapter, every verse. I'm going to read it. And I remember, I think I was in in Calipat. I don't remember where I was, but I had the Bible, and I used to only just really stick to the New Testament, right? And I remember thinking to myself, man, I'm one of these days, I'm gonna read this from front to back. Again, I said it to myself, and I swear to God, I heard a man's voice clear as day tell me, if you read that from front to back, you're going home. I read that book. It takes you a year. You read 3 chapters a day. It takes you a year. I finished in a year, and I went home a few months later. I saw an entire YouTube channel dedicated to hating on you, and I want to say congratulations. You're living rent free in lame's minds. Thank you, Mars Queen Marlene. You know, it is what it is, man. I've been hated on my whole life. And it's pretty much always, I think all of us have dealt with that, right? Especially like if you're in the streets, you got dudes that hate on you behind your back, and they smile and shake your hand like a motherfucker when you come around them. It's the same thing with social media. You know, these guys aren't going to do anything to anybody. They're not going to do nothing but talk. They have no charisma. They have no character. They have no morals. They have no content. And so they have to talk about somebody else. And fortunately, it's me. They bring new people to me. They have the same people. Like, so Gunner and I have been dealing with trolls for years, right? And the same people will go from troll, because these channels, troll channels always fall apart. They always collapse at a certain point, right? And all those 15 to 20 people that support that channel and make a gang accounts to make it seem like there's more people than there really is, they'll just go to the new one until that collapses, and they'll go to the new one. And that's got to be a miserable way to live. And what the snapper says, gas is still $5 a gallon. Okay, and so I'm not going to get into this whole thing, but Trump did a press conference, or he was involved in a press conference the other day. He specifically called out Shell, Exxon, and another one of the gas companies, and he said straight out, "You guys, there's no reason why gas should be as high as it is, other than people price gouging." He said the national average, of course, California will never be on average. We're always going to get charged way more. He said the national average should be $2.50 based on all of the data when it comes to petroleum. And I think that there are a lot of companies that hate this president so much that they are raising prices in order to make him look bad, not realizing he only has a 4-year term. He's already he was already president for 4 years. Punishing average Americans and making us suffer through all this price gouging and everything, when it's food, gas, whatever, is pretty fucked up. Three, 4 years later, ran into him in High Desert, and the dude that bullied him was there too, and the youngster politicked on him and used the bonds he had to recite to get dude out the way. Karma's crazy. Yeah, no, there's no reason why gas should be as expensive as it is. Kamai says Washington State gas tax is 74.9 cents per gallon. Yeah, you know, these blue states, man, they love putting that tax on everything. Exactly. Garrett Higgs says it goes up real quick, but always comes down very slow. Okay, I'll check it out. Only in California, Newsom going to be up in Lompoc with the homies wearing his flip flops. Hey, what's up, yo? Let me see. Where you at? I got a crazy story about a little homie that got picked on and DP all the time. A dude made him write and recite bonds over and over again. Yeah. You know, yeah, I don't know. I hope Newsom becomes the Democrat position. He's trying, Holmes. He's trying. You said you believed everyone else was the problem, but when you figured out you were the problem, that's when you turned your life around. How could that be answered to? Could that be an answer to his question? His question, it was a belief about myself, and that's where like I really would have to think about it. Who you prefer after Newsom, Dubs? Becerra or the Brit? I don't know, homie. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't pay attention to anything when it comes to the governor here in California because the fact is, no matter who the governor is, the state is still controlled by Democrats. The state house is all blue, right? They have, and that's why even like when people mention, oh well, when Schwarzenegger was governor, when Schwarzenegger was governor, the only things that passed were the things the Democrats wanted to pass. It's a fact. They run this state. They run this state with like an iron grip. I will say though, my gas lasts way longer in California. Y'all got the food out there. It's just not cheaper. You know what? I've heard that. Do you think oil companies have too much influence over fuel prices? I do. The next wave of politicians in a lot of states on both sides are terrible. That's a fact, Holmes. That's a complete fact right there. There are not a lot of good candidates on either side. Um, and I think it has to do with how dirty the game it really is, you know. I remember when I was a kid, they used to say that the president gets paid so low compared to other, business people will say, and senators get paid so low, and they said it was to weed out corruption. But the fact that they have, what do they call them, man? I can't remember the name right now. Lobbyists. The fact that they have lobbyists in the governor's ears or candidates' ears, senators' ears, that there's a lot of handshakes and promises involved. Politics are very corrupt, no matter what the scenario. Politicians used to do it for the passion the first 100 years, and then money got involved. Yeah. Back in the day, they tried to lie to us. Now they just play in our faces. They don't even pretend to have good intentions anymore. You're not lying. You're not lying, man. Those of you that remember when 9/11 happened, when the towers came down and all that happened. Do you remember how united the country got? Like it didn't. None of that mattered. Like everybody got united. I guarantee you, if something like that were to happen again in this country, it would not bring people together. This country is so divided. Um, but when you hear interviews that world leaders have done, I know the president of El Salvador has said it, and I believe Putin has said it too. I believe the Chinese president has said it too. That the United States can never be taken down from the outside. It will be taken down from inside, internally, right? And I think that's what we're seeing, man. But history always repeats itself. Every single world power throughout history has always collapsed, and it's always been from the inside. I don't know what that's going to do to the rest of the world when it happens. I'm already old, so I probably won't be around to see it, but it's unfortunate because my child probably will be. I keep hearing we have so much oil in our country. Why does the Iran stuff affect our prices? Because we still have to pull a lot of that stuff out. Um, I, th- like if, so fracking is a newer thing for us over here, right? And the places where they started fracking, they go in and they break up the soil. I don't. I'm not gonna get. I don't know all the technical shit, and it releases the gases, and they pull it up. A lot of places where they started doing that never had earthquakes until they started fracking. So whenever we start messing with Mother Nature has a reaction. But yeah, supposedly we have a lot of oil, but there are other places that have oil. The big homie CC said there's going to be a war coming up between good versus evil. I can't. Well, of course, that's biblical. Lalo says, let me ask you a question, and let's be realistic. Do you really think the government really cares about their people, or they just care about money and power? The vast majority only care about money and power. Period. The truth is our reserves have never been lower. He produced more oil than ever before, but we're selling it all to other countries. Yeah. Kalos, what's cracking? Sticks and stones in the building. Leighton. He said, happy anniversary, sad. Candace Owens always has a lot of interesting things to say. That's a smart woman. I'm not going to agree with her all the time. Who in our lives, in our daily lives, it could be your husband, your wife, your kids, your mom, your dad. Who in our lives do we agree with them? Every single thing they say. There's not one person, there's not one human being that we can interact with and say we agree with every single thing they say, right? So she says some really thought-provoking things, and then there's other times we're like, huh? Kamai, yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at Kamala got $1 billion in just a few months, and then wound up in like millions of dollars in debt. Like your run was like, what was it, like 4 months? They gave her $1 billion for 4 months, and she still ran it to the dirt and that was crazy. Do people create the system, or does the system eventually shape how people behave? Both. Hey, thank you, Joshua. Let me write your name down. Wascom. Thank you. I appreciate that. AM. Let me write your name down. Thank you for becoming a new member. Yeah, I think the people create the system, and the people at the top of that creation manipulate the system to manipulate the people, the masses. I think we've all heard of certain families' names that have been doing that for centuries here in the world. We're just gonna go a few more minutes. I had only planned on doing 30 minutes. We're already almost at 40, so we'll go a couple more minutes, guys. I let you do your thing. I'm gonna go eat and then probably get on the game. And Monte Snapper, Democrats already licking their chops that if they win the House, the impeachment papers are getting started right away. Yeah. I think that's just silly, man. That's just. Mm. Pete Town says, Dubs, I'm about to get started. Ready for the first one? Well, I haven't drank in about a week. I don't remember what day it was. It was last week sometime. I want to say Wednesday. I think Wednesday was the last time I drank. Yeah, it's unfortunate when these politicians start wanting to impeach each other and all that. Because people are out for vengeance. They're not out for justice. And I think if they were out for justice, it doesn't matter what party you're in because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Don't let the haters control me. Oh, they couldn't. They couldn't. There's no way. I mean, how could they? I don't trip on Killer Kelly. I don't trip on Compa. Compa, I've always talked good about him, and then he started talking bad about me. He started regurgitating what the trolls were saying. It is what it is, but is he gonna become a regular over there? Them two dudes can drink. Hey, I was watching them the other day, and I was like, damn, that's what I look like when I drink. I don't drink. That according to the trolls, I drink every day, right? That's their big. I don't drink every day, but when I drink, I drink. I get it. Do you think most people avoid uncomfortable truths? They absolutely do. And for some, it's because they don't want to hurt someone else's feelings. Um, but I used to like in the joint, especially I was known for I'm not gonna bullshit you whatsoever. I used to tell people, hey, the truth might hurt, Holmes, but a lie will get you killed. So I'm gonna be honest with you straight up. Now, obviously, I'm gonna have to, there's certain situations where something's happening where, somebody might be next, and he's fishing. I'm lying by playing cool with them, but that's just how it is in that world. But I think when you're dealing with people, especially when it's a friend, if somebody is a yes man to you, that's not your friend. Your friend should be able to tell you, like, hey, Holmes, nah, that ain't cool right there, man. Like, hey, Holmes, hey, let's talk about that though. I don't think you're on the right path with that right there. And if that's your friend, you should already respect him enough to be like, you know what? Let me hear this shit out. Maybe he's right. Smoke a lot. There's a thing that they said has to do with a certain organization in our government that it's already that it's actually going to be holograms, big dog, and it's going to be weaponry, government weaponry from different governments across the world are going to use holograms. Like I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. Uh, but I don't think it's a coincidence that after 100 years, they're finally admitting that there's aliens and they're showing like aircraft. I don't know. Killer says, Lucky is good. Compa is on another level. Let me tell you something. Compa Raider has a restaurant, successful restaurant. He's got money. He doesn't need to do the things that he does. I've said before, he's probably a cool dude, eh? Wow, David. Let me make sure I write your name. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Um, I'm not trying to analyze the Vato, but I think there's some things that he may have subconsciously he has to deal with. I don't know. It's dangerous when you have somebody that has money and likes to drink. Like shit. I got to budget my drinking. That's when everybody's like, "Hey, drink up, drink up, drink." I'm like, "Shit, you know how expensive that shit is?" Yeah, Droops is back on the show. I like that podcast. I don't really ever mention them because then the haters will start all kinds of pedo. But I'm gonna say this: I saw that Haters World and Hood Stocks they got into an exchange, and Haters World and I, we've had our back and forth. I think both of us realize it's not good for business. If you want to be successful, that type of shit is not good for business. Um, I will say that I think it's unfortunate that it's being aired out in public. I want to say I've never Lucky from Hoodstocks. I don't think anybody has gone on Hoodstocks and ever talked shit about Gunner Night. So to us, that goes a long way. We have to respect that. And not only that, keep in mind, there was somebody that was on a guest on phone, but his mother was there in person. And that individual is a legend, right? He's I mean, I know him personally. We were in New Folsom together, in the oil together, did some stuff together. Uh, but for somebody of that stature, of that status in that world to go on Hoodstocks, I believe that sends a message. Now, don't get me wrong; all the other active channels everybody has access to communicate with whoever, right? But I don't know, man. I always felt like Lucky has stuck to what he wants to do, um, and I gotta respect that. Smoke a lot says my homie got some crazy UFO flying video stuff. He lives by Skunk Works by Edwards. Oh yes, they like to go around the bases. No, Snapper. No, the one that I don't like to say the names. The one that Killer Cali said right above you. Kyrie, what's up, big dog? He said, Dubs, thanks for pulling up on my stream. You have no idea how pumped I was after that stream. I was clanging and banging all the ways downtown. Homie, you've been a supporter for a while, Holmes. It popped up on my thing. I said, man, let me go in there and say hi to him. Glad you enjoyed it, eh? Okay, guys, we're at 45 minutes. I just wanted to do a quick live, man. Let you guys know I have talked to Gunner again. His hey, what's up, user from there? Was it from there? Yeah, I just want to let you guys know I spoke to Gunner. How he's feeling day to day is what it is. But we do want to start interacting with you guys on the lives more often here as well on the other one. So stay tuned. And once again, thank you for all the love, man. Thank you for all the support. You guys have been supporting us for a while, and we appreciate you guys. Thank you.